Well, g'day, I'm JB and welcome to this week's episode of 4x4 Adventure Club. This is part 2 of our Cobaw State Forest run. As you saw last week, we had some great driving with some technical rock crawling, some big ruts. Unfortunately, had a couple of breakdowns, but let's see how we go this week.
Perfect. Perfect.
Well, we've come up to a nice gnarly bit. Pretty much got two massive boulders, probably foot or two sort of wedged. Pretty much got to ride the top of the rock and drop down. So yeah, bit of a interesting moment coming up. So let's see how I go, eh?
That's it. Oh. That way? Yeah. Straight right? Yeah, perfect. Bit more right, bit more right. That's it. Right this way. A little bit left hand down. Bit more left. 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 That's it, perfect. Just take it straight from there. So when you're hitting the ground, go right from there. Okay, right in there. All right. One hand down, not too much. Just sit nice and straight. Keep it there. Keep
Feel left hand side. Take another foot before it starts to drop. Once it starts to drop.
Back up.
On the rock.
Back. A little bit.
Back.
Get on this side. Not too much down. That's it.
Yep.
Right, that's it.
Yeah, that was awesome, going over the top of that rock. So still not out of the woods yet. We've got another nice rocky section to crawl down now, so yeah, we'll keep moving.
Hi, I'm Darrell from 4x4 Adventure. I'm one of the members of the club, and this is my Range Rover. It's a 1993 Classic V8 Auto. I'm here to tell you a bit about my rig. The 3.9 that's in this Range Rover is still rock stocky. Hopefully it's a bit long in the tooth, so in the future it's going to get a nice little rebuild and freshen up. And I'm running an aftermarket snorkel, so we can do a few creek crossings and not have to worry about water getting in the motor and stopping in the river, which is not good. Underneath the car I'm running Terra Firma suspension lift, 2 inches, with a 2-inch shocker extensions on them, with a 2-inch body lift to try and keep it all out of the muck and the mud so we can keep going having fun. And with the diffs I'm running Ashcroft lockers, air lockers front and rear with axles and CV joints. And on top of those I've got the 32-inch BF Goodrich all-terrain muddies. And up the front of the car I'm running a ARB deluxe winch bar, which is nice and sturdy, which is good. That's why I went for ARBs. Running the winch, I'm running a Run Bar 1100 XP Black Edition, so it's got plenty of torque, plenty of power to get me out of trouble or someone else as well. With the aerial, which supplies to the GMC radio that's inside the cab. And down the side of the car with a bit of protection, I've got some Outcast rock slides they made up for me to fit with the flares and so forth. And down the back I've got a nice solid steel rear bar. I don't know who made it. It would come off the donor car that I've got, but it works well and it carries me tyre on the outside, which gives me a bit more room inside the back of the car. And inside the cabin I've got the GME radio, 80 channels, which is good little unit, been very reliable. I've had a couple in the past. And I've got a Garmin GPS which I run as well, which has got country maps in it, which is quite handy for around the bush, and so we can get home at night time after we've had a trip. Followed by the switches, which I've had to find some smaller switches to fit in the dash, as the original switches wouldn't fit, and they work quite well, which powers the air compressor down the back, which is an ARB air compressor, which controls the lockers at the front and the rear. And for the future mods for the car, I've still got to go as well to make it a bit more easier to use in the bush. Dual battery system they'll be putting it now, followed by a longer range fuel tank I've had especially made up for the car, keep me ground clearance, and I can carry a bit more fuel, being a petrol car, a bit more guzzle than the old diesels. And the headlights, I sort of put some spotlights on it as well, so I can do a bit of night driving as well. Places I'd like to go, and that's like I say, we went up to Rover up in South Australia, had a great time there. First time I've been up on sand on the four-wheeler, hope to go there again. But I like to play around Victoria, we don't have sand here, but the mud's fun as well, like at the back of Warburton. big river and all that, all the high country. It's I just like it all actually. Unfortunately, some people have gone up to the Cape this year. I can't afford to get there. I'd hope to get there one year because I just keep hearing some awesome places up there to see and that. So, but there's a few places I like to get to. But I just like going out to the club. That's just awesome. Well, I hope you like my little rig segment. I can't tell you a bit about it, and you probably see it in a few episodes as well. Hopefully now it's getting a bit better, and keep watching our shows we put up as well, because we work hard to do it and we enjoy doing it for you, and yeah, keep on watching.
Guys, Adam here from ADM Motors and Nuts About 4-wheel drive. On this episode, what I'd like to do is just show you the use of a high lift jack. High lift jack is something that a lot of us carry, and ideally, hopefully, we never actually use it very often. But when we do, there's a few things that I want you to sort of just look out for, because they can be the best piece of equipment that you have, or sometimes they can be the worst. So what you notice here is I've already set the high lift jack up in position. What I've done is the ARB front bars actually have points in the front that are built into the bars where you can actually attach brackets like this to it. That bracket is really good because it actually bolts into the bar, and then it actually bolts through the actual high lift jack and holds it in position, so therefore the jack has got no way of actually falling or slipping. The only other thing that you'll notice at the moment, because I'm on hard ground, I haven't got a base plate on it, but off-road, in sand, whatever you might be using it for, if you can, a base plate is ideal when you're off-road in that kind of area as well. Again, can be bought from your local ARB and that too. Other places that you can potentially mount a high lift jack, which you've got to be careful with, is things like in a tow bar where you pull out the square hitch and you can potentially put the end of the high lift jack into the tow hitch. The other thing is as well that sometimes on sliders, custom sliders, any other bars sometimes will have a cutout more so in the actual bar where you can actually put the nose or the lifting part of the high lift jack underneath, and that will actually do the same thing. But in this case, ARB bar, the right bracket, really safe. Other things you've got to be careful of is when you jack these up, because you can pull the whole front of the car off the ground with them, they can become a little bit unstable. So if you have got a wheel off or you are doing things like that, take the wheel off, put the wheel underneath the diff or underneath something there, so that if for some reason the jack does slip and fall, which is very possible, there's something there to catch it, and it's a lot safer to work with. Operation of a high lift jack, it's got a little lever on the side which will allow it to go up and down, and also free spool up and down and that as well. But literally, you grab the high lift jack, and as you pump it up, these pins actually move and lock it in, and you'll see that it will actually lift the front of the four-wheel drive. I'll go a little bit higher, and there's one other thing that I do really want to show you guys. I've got most of the weight of the four-wheel drive on the high lift jack at the moment. I've lifted up the front of it. To send it down or to bring it down after I've worked on the car is simply just a flick of the lever and engage the pins in the other direction. You just move the handle back down, and you'll see that the sides will clip and actually go down. The only thing that you've got to be careful of here is on the end of this lever is the weight of the actual four-wheel drive. So as you pick it up and bring it down, you got to pull your head out of the way. I can't tell you how many times I've actually been smacked in the head with this bar because I wasn't concentrating at the time, and it hurts. So keep yourself out of the way and make sure you keep everything in control, because the weight of the actual four-wheel drive is actually hanging on the high lift jack on the way down. Once it's come down to the right position, you will be able to just undo the bracket and undo the bolts and everything, and then just take it out of the bracket and then send it down to the lower position. So hopefully it's been helpful. I'd like to see you out there. If you do, come say good day. Give us a like on our Facebook site, Nuts About 4-Wheel Drive. Check out our online store at nutsabout4wheeldrive.com.au. Stay on all fours and go nuts. Straighten up. Drive it in there. Straighten up. Straighten up.
Well, what an awesome day that was out at Cobaw State Forest. If you have enjoyed what you've seen, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like us on Facebook. I'm JB, we'll catch you next week on 4x4 Adventure Club.